Today we are going to see about the conservation of mechanical energy. So the movement of a body can be in space. That means it can occupy three-dimensional. But here we are going to deal with only one-dimensional motion. Assume an object is here. It is moved from this point to this point. Assume this distance, initial distance is xi and final distance is xf. That means based on the application of force, conservative force, this object has moved from xi to xf. This is the final distance and the initial distance, so we call this as a del x, change in distance. So by work energy theorem we know that the kinetic energy is equal to force into displacement del x. So del k, because of del x, a small kinetic energy is there. So del k is f of x, the so-called conservative force, multiplied by del x. Also we know that the change in potential energy because of this change in length del x is given by minus f of x into del x, because every action has the equal and opposite reaction. They bring this minus sign this side, so you have minus del v is equal to f of x into del x. Now you see this equation and this equation, right hand side both are equal. That means left hand side has to be equal. So del k minus del v, del k should be equal to minus del v. So you bring this term this side, del k plus del v is equal to 0. You take del as common term, that means k plus v is equal to 0. That means sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is a constant. Okay, over the whole path xi to xf, that means this is the starting point and this is the end point. So from starting point to end point we can say kinetic energy at the initial starting point plus potential energy at the initial starting point, that is you are adding together sum of kinetic energy and potential energy at the starting point is equal to sum of kinetic energy and potential at the final point. So in between you can have variations. That means potential energy and kinetic energy may vary, but the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy is going to be a constant. Okay, that is k plus v of x is called the total mechanical energy of the system. That means it can be initial or it can be final. The total mechanical energy of the system is given by kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay. Now we are going to see some important points regarding conservative force. So what are the important observations in a conservative force? First point, a force f of x is conservative if it can be derived from a scalar quantity v of x. V of x is potential energy by the relation given by. So del v is equal to minus f of x into del x. Okay. So a force f of x is conservative if it can be derived from a scalar quantity. So this del v has to be a scalar quantity. Already del x is a scalar quantity. So if you are able to derive this f of x force using v of x, then we can say that force is conservative. Second point, the work done by the conservative force depends only on the endpoints. This we have already seen. In between the starting point and the ending point there may be some variations, but in between the sum of the potential energy and the kinetic energy is going to be constant. But then we will be considering to find the work done only the initial points and the end points. So we can say the work done by the conservative force depends only on the end points. For example, work done is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is equal to initial potential energy minus final potential energy. So this is the statement. So we deal only with the initial values and final values, not with the intermediate values to find out the work done. And the third case is the work done by the force in a closed path is 0. Suppose the starting point and the ending point. Suppose in this case the starting point is different, ending point is different. But if you consider a closed loop like structure, the starting point xi, and once it completes the loop and comes back once again to the same point, xi is equal to xf. So both are same points. Therefore, we can say already we have this relation ki plus v xi, kinetic energy at the initial point plus potential energy at the initial point is equal to kinetic energy at the final point plus potential energy at the final point. So suppose if I make kf as ki and vx of s as xi, then both these sides are equal, therefore the answer is 0. That is, the work done by the force in a closed path is 0. Right. So we have to define the total mechanical energy of the system. So what is the total mechanical energy of a system? The total mechanical energy of a system is conserved of the forces if the forces doing work on it are conservative. That means energy can be neither be created nor destroyed. One form of energy reappears in another form without any loss. Of course, we are going to see through an example the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, and in between we will be seeing both potential energy and kinetic energy, and at the end result we will be seeing all are same. Okay, now we are going to discuss about total mechanical energy of a system by considering one example. Assume a solid ball which is dropped from certain height, okay, from the ground. So that's what is given here. So this is a solid ball. It is dropped from this height. Vertical height is h, and this is distance x. So this distance is h. So at this point it is a constant. It is not moving. Therefore, potential energy and kinetic energy, both the energies we have, but kinetic energy is equal to 0. Okay. So at this point we have potential energy. When we release the ball, it occupies some point in the space, and that height will be defined by small h, and the velocity at this point will be vh, and when it reaches the ground we have velocity is equal to final velocity when it reaches the ground. So we know that at this point v equal to 0. So generally at this height here the velocity is 0, but it has potential energy. So it is given by, at this height, potential energy at this point is mgh, where h is the height. Now you take some arbitrary point in the space when the ball is dropped. So at certain height h. So at that point we have both potential energy as well as kinetic energy. So the energy at this point with the height h is equal to mgh, this is the height, plus half mv square. So for this height, what is the velocity? So v is equal to vh. Next, the ball has come, the solid ball has come to the ground. So this is ground. It has reached the ground. So now we have E naught, the ground, energy at ground is half mv square, because it doesn't have any potential energy. It is moving and it is hitting the ground. Therefore, half mv square. Vf means final velocity square. Right. Now, according to the principle, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. One form of energy reappears in another form without any loss. That's our statement, and that we have to prove it. So therefore, EH is equal to E naught. So this height, the energy at this point should be equal to the energy at ground. So that we have to prove now. So EH is equal to E naught. EH we know mgh. E naught we know half mvf square. So mm gets cancelled. Therefore, Vf square is going to bring this to this side and m this side. Mm gets cancelled. Therefore, 2gh. So Vf square is equal to 2gh. The final velocity square is equal to 2gh. Or if you want final velocity, Vf is equal to, just take root of 2gh. That will be the final velocity when the ball reaches the ground. Right. Now we arbitrarily take energy at capital H, and then we equate it to energy at some arbitrary point, this point with a height small h. So EH we already have from this equation, mgh, and EH small h is mgh plus half mv square. This has both potential energy as well as kinetic energy. Both we are equating now. So EH is equal to mgh is equal to E small h is equal to mgh, potential energy plus kinetic energy of mv square at a height h. Okay, now divide throughout this equation by m. So m gets cancelled. Okay, dividing throughout by m. Now bring this gh term this side. So what will happen? G capital H minus g small h. You can take g as the common term and then you have h minus h. Here we have half v square. So bring this to this side. So you will be having v final, this point, at vh at this point. So vh square is equal to 2g into h minus capital H minus h. That's the equation. Now we will deal with two cases. Now if you see, both will be equal. So at h is equal to 0, that means h value, this displacement 0 means this is at this point. So when h is equal to 0, we have 2gh. Okay, that's what we have here also, 2gh. When small h is 0, that means this height is 0 means what? It is at the ground level. Okay, so we have 2gh and h is equal to capital H. If this h reaches this capital H, that means if you replace h by capital H, what will happen? H minus h is 0, therefore velocity is 0. So velocity at this point, at the source point where we hold the ball, has only potential energy and velocity is 0 at that point. So that's what we got the results. So this is the basic method by which we can prove that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. One form of energy reappears in another form without loss. So we have initially potential energy. Later on at some point we have both potential energy and kinetic energy. And once it reaches the ground, we don't have any potential energy, but all the energy will be in the form of kinetic energy. So that's all about the total mechanical energy of the system. The conservation of mechanical energy, we have proved with 3 different cases, and we have established that fact that mechanical energy, total mechanical energy of a conservative system is equal to sum of both potential energy and kinetic energy, and which is going to be a constant. So that's all about this topic. Hope you have understood this topic. Thanks for watching. Nandri.